Let's see. I'm live! Woo! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Star Wars Squadrons, or Squadrons, on the RX 570, 1050 Ti, 1650 Super and 750 Ti. The thing here is that the game is limited to 4 or 5 hardware changes every 24 hours, so I'm limited to 4 or 5 GPUs, which is unfortunate, but hey, better than nothing. I'm only going to be skipping the RX 580 on this live stream this time around. So, how are you guys doing? Good to see you. Yeah, unfortunately the DRM in Electronic Arts games is pretty messed up, because I can only do 4 hardware changes every 24 hours. So yeah, now I'm on 1080p ultra settings on the RX 570. As you can see here, 1080p. And if I go back, I'm using the highest settings. As you can see, everything maxed out. Basically the same menu as Battlefield 5. So yeah, let's get started. I never played this game before. I put it on easy mode so I can get a grip with the controls. So let's give it a try. Hopefully I do something interesting with it. ¿Cuánto tardé? Arranqué a los 3 años, así que como 17 años, más o menos. 60 Hz? Yes, 60 Hz. It should be at least. Yeah, basically 60 Hz. Okay, booting systems. Genial, Black Kaiser, me alegro por vos. Se nota que estás disfrutando. Hang on, I'm going to disable the vibration on the control. Let me see. Vibration off, thank you very much. Hola, no me digan Apo, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Sí, estoy en Uruguay. Soy de Uruguay, sí. How are you doing, guys? Good to see you. Left trigger, target directly ahead. Left trigger. Gotcha. Interesting. Bueno, me alegro, Black Kaiser. Para eso los hago, para que te copes vos. Alright, pretty easy to control so far. And we're getting 100 frames per second, but nothing is going on, basically. Okay, seems simple enough. But yeah, we're floating in a very, what's the name of this? Very empty space. Let's see if this holds up. 120 FPS. But yeah, this is gameplay, yeah. Esto es gameplay. Pero una vez que estemos en un combate se va a entender un poco más. Is it early in the morning, like 4 AM? No, right now it's 9 PM in my country, in Uruguay. Whoa, I can roll, awesome. Yeah, the controls are pretty easy so far in the movement department. Sorry if I make someone motion sick, that's not my intention. But yeah, the game looks pretty good so far. ¿Se consigue la 3080? Todavía no, pero se puede comprar la 3090, que es medio ridículo. O sea, la 3090 está, pero la 3080 no. Porque nadie compra la 3090. Someone was asking if I could get a 3080 in my country. Well, in my country it's not available so far. It didn't get to the retailers. But the 3090 is available for pre-order. So the 3080 didn't arrive here. But yeah, the 3090 is here because nobody can afford it, so... What's the time? What? What's this time? What do you mean? It's 9 PM in my country. What happens if it's 1650 Super Pro with an i3 6100? You're probably going to be limited by your CPU, because most games require more than 2 cores and 4 threads. But you should be able to play most games locked at 30 frames per second. And by most games I mean the most demanding ones, except the games that don't launch with 2 cores and 4 threads. There are a few of them. But you can still play games with some stutters. Where are you from? I'm from Uruguay. In India it's 5:30 a.m. Oh, sorry for the people in India. Well, at least you can watch this video once it's over, so nobody will miss anything. Diga pai, soy de Uruguay. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about any of this. Come on, I want to fight. In Greece it's 3 a.m. You're sleepless. Well, I can make you some company in the meantime. ¿Por qué no hablo en español? Porque llego a mucho más público hablando inglés. Y la mayoría del público habla inglés en mi canal. Okay, going to skip the cutscenes. Okay, this looks pretty decent. But I want to fight. Come on. I wanna shoot and press buttons and do stuff. Tenés un i3 2100 con una 7870. Pa, sí. Radical. Por lo menos es jugable. Simplemente es demasiado el desbalance. Sí, salado. Todavía te queda tiempo para pelear. 5 minutos. ¡Ah! ¡Qué horror! Okay, some people are telling me that there's still more than 5 minutes left to get into the fighting part. So I'm going to get bored for another 5 minutes. But I'm going to be talking to you guys. 570 running this great so far, yeah, but we didn't fight anyone yet. So I'm a little disappointed with that we're still not shooting anything, which is what I care about. I'm not into Star Wars, personally, not a fan. I watched the 1, 2, and 3 on the 2000s, but then I wasn't very interested. I just like the memes. I'm all about the memes, but I know nothing about Star Wars. So yeah, targets in the center of the sensor directly ahead of you. Gotcha. Okay, to scan an unknown ship or object, face it and tap LT to target it. Okay, I already know that. I can also throttle back. Okay. Yeah, I don't care. Scan. Okay, I gotta scan. The most fun part in video games, scanning stuff by pressing one button. Another trader. Soy uruguayo, pero estuviste cerca. Oh look, if ain't the hardware YouTuber for the 99%. Yeah, basically. This is what most people should have in their PCs, in the best case scenario. In the normal case scenario. A 570 is the most affordable card at the moment, considering the performance, so yeah. The hardware benchmarker for the 99%. Okay, use the sensor to find the cargo ship. Yeah, I'm already doing that. Okay, let's go behind it. Yeah, finally I'm shooting stuff. So exciting. Slow down. Oh, I'm not stopping. Okay, even when I get very close to an explosion, I'm still over 100 frames per second, so should be okay. So yeah, wonderful. So far that looks good, considering the amount of effects on screen. So I have good, what's the name of this? Good, I think that the performance will be great. Maybe on the CPU side we're going to get bottlenecked a couple times if there are many ships on screen. But so far, yeah, this runs surprisingly well considering it's the Battlefield 5 engine. Of course, this is not super, what's the name of this? The super it's not super detailed. I mean, it looks good, but I think Battlefield 5 looks better. I know this is a completely different game, but I mean, I've seen games of this style running significantly worse with worse graphics. But yeah, if you compare it with something like Battlefield 5, I mean, the performance makes sense. But with the amount of effects on screen, we are still way over 60 frames. Where are the turrets? I'm kinda lost. Oh, I have to repair my ship. I'm trying to read chat and play at the same time. It's not working. Sorry about that, guys. And I cannot go faster than this for some reason. Yeah, pretty terrible at this game so far. Alright. Okay. Let me see if with mouse and keyboard this is better. Oh no. Screw it. No mouse and keyboard on this one. Yeah, with a controller seems to be significantly easier. It controls like No Man's Sky with mouse and keyboard. So that's not particularly bad, but I'm not used to it. So yeah, if you play No Man's Sky, you can probably play this game just fine. It has better fighting. But yeah. We will test this game in VR. I have no VR headset, so I cannot do it. But it's probably going to be just fine. I mean, on 1080p ultra settings, you're getting over 60 all the time on the 570. I never saw it drop below 60. Nowhere close. So on VR it should be pretty easy. Maybe that's why the game runs so well. Maybe it was optimized to run in VR. Who knows? But yeah, even with effects on screen. Okay, now it's dropping into the 70s. Significantly more demanding than the previous part. But yeah, there was just some smoke on the screen with more ships. So yeah, this is more demanding. But still, not dropping below 60 so far. And I forgot how to aim, so that's pretty convenient. Alright, there's another one. Okay, shields. Yeah, of course they have shields. I just shoot them until the shields disappear. Alright. Anybody else? No, that's one of ours. Oh, that way. Come on. Gotcha. Perfect. Oh man. Ugh, I'm getting dizzy. Let's go to the tunnel. Oh, yeah. ¿Qué onda, Nico? ¿Todo bien? Looks like a 2010 game. I disagree. I mean, it's not the best looking game in the world, don't get me wrong. But 2010 had worse looking games than this. So, I mean, just be concerned if this was running poorly. I mean, the game is not photorealistic or anything, but it looks good. 2010 game. I mean, what were you playing in 2010? Crisis? Probably. Come on, let me move. Thank you, Gianluca. Thank you. VRAM usage? Yeah, basically 4 gigabytes. But I mean, you can lower the texture quality, I guess. Let me see. Mash any button. Okay, easy enough. Alright, let's go back and chase that guy. Oh yeah, probably this game is running well because it's going to be... it runs on VR as well. Oh, okay. I can divert some power to get better speed on my ship. Not that I'm going to pay attention to that, but interesting to know. And I'm not shooting anyone. Oh, I have to chase. I don't have to... I have to shoot him. Whoops. Oh yeah, even with explosions on screen, the explosions are not that good looking in comparison to Battlefield 5. But it seems to be more aimed towards the VR thing. That's why it probably runs well, because they optimize it for VR. But yeah, running very well so far. Textures. Yeah. The VRAM usage is super variable, kind of weird. ¿Cómo corre en el FX 3350? No sabría decirte porque no lo tengo, pero mucho peor. ¿Reservaste el Cyberpunk? No, lo voy a pedir a ver si me lo dan para review, pero lo voy a comprar, por supuesto. What is the best graphics card that you own? The RX 580 and the 1650 Super. It depends on the game, but yeah, those are the fastest ones I have at the moment. I like this chip better so far. Let's follow this one. Oh yeah, I mean, most of the time over 70 frames per second, nowhere close dropping below 60. When we were fighting many ships at once, it was more demanding, we dropped into the 70s, but in these locations when nothing is going on, we're basically over 100 frames, even with effects on screen, so yeah, seems to be running quite well at the moment. But yeah. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué GPU recomiendas para actualizar mi 1050? Por el momento la 580 o la 1650 Super. Pero honestamente yo esperaría. ¿Un 3200G? Sí, probablemente. O sea, debería sobrarte para 60 FPS. Okay, I can add more power to the engines, so I go faster. Interesting. That's interesting, I wasn't expecting that. Up to divert power to lasers, so faster and stronger lasers. Oh yeah, please let me shoot again. Okay, and left and right to power to the shields. Interesting. I wasn't expecting this level of tools. Rebalance power, okay, more of a balanced experience. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that from this game. But after playing Flight Simulator, this is like super easy to control. So that's good. It's more of an arcadey thing.
Okay, Squadron. Anyone low on missiles needs to stock up now.
Alright.
Head to the U-wing for resupply.
Reminds me of Rogue Squadron. I never played it, so I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's probably the previous game, right?
All good?
How do you not have 1 million subs? Well, not everybody's interested in benchmarks, and I wish I could do more work, but at the moment that's not possible. But if I had a possibility of doing this with more people, like Digital Foundry has like 3 or 4 people working on videos, it will probably be significantly better, more GPUs, more CPUs, more games. But yeah, I mean, I'm only one person working on this. But yeah, most people are not interested in benchmarks, which I understand. Some people just want to put a disc in a console or download a game and play it right away. They don't want to maybe, I don't know. Whoa, the game is frozen? No. Maybe they don't want to do tweaks or anything like that. But yeah. ¿Qué pasa, Darvan? ¿Todo bien? What about 10500 and 10400? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Never mind. Alright, so we're getting into the fighting part, hopefully. Please, let me fight once again. One thing that I'm noticing is that sometimes the RAM usage is over 8 gigabytes, just like Battlefield 5, but less often. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. Make sure to have enough system RAM. Okay, there's even a faster way to move. Interesting. But yeah, still over 100 frames per second. Not surprising at the moment. It will be more interesting once I test it on the 750 Ti, one of the oldest cards. But yeah, I'm also surprised this is the X11 only. I was expecting some Vulkan implementation. But yeah. Buena optimización, sí, por ahora corre bárbaro. Creo que es porque también tiene modo realidad virtual. Debe venir por ahí el rendimiento bueno. Una 5700 XT, me parece que está bien. No entendí para qué... Ah, sí, te da lo más bien. Okay, let's fight. Whoa, what the hell happened there? Oh, I have missiles. Boom. Gone forever. Yeah, I mean, nothing special so far with the visuals. But I mean, the game runs well. Come on. Yeah, seems to be okay. Let's try 1440p now that we're here, at least. So we're going to swap from 1080p to 1440. As you can see there, 1440p. And I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see the frame rate. So we're going to use 1440 maximum settings. Alright, and we're going to change the text to 1440p. Alright, so on the 570 we're testing now 1440p. And on the settings we are basically maxed out, as you can see here. And I'm seeing that there's no texture quality option, which is pretty unfortunate. Probably the game tests that on its own. But yeah, we are maximum settings 1440p at the moment. How can you afford all these games? In this case I paid EA Play, which is very cheap, and I have 10 hours of this game. So yeah, at this point I'm getting sometimes games from the developers and some other times from the publisher, better said. And some other times I just pay a subscription service and have access to the game. But yeah, as you can see now, on 1440p max settings we're dropping below 60 sometimes. Even on with explosions around us. But yeah, I mean, this is 1440p ultra settings. I wasn't expecting this level of performance on a new game. So that's pretty good news for the 570.
You did your job.
Okay, where the hell are they? I'm kinda lost. Seems that they are behind me. I'm getting dizzy now. Where are they? Oh, okay. That way. Okay, now we're dropping into the 40s, so definitely need to do some tweaks for 60 frames. Let's try lowering the lighting to high, shadows to high. Okay, the shadows is one of the biggest ones, as you can see. If I put shadows on ultra, I'm at 44 FPS. If I put it on high, I go up to 52. Let's see, on medium, 71. Okay, it seems that shadows is the most important one. Let's see if something else also changes the performance. Probably the post-process. Let's try that. Nothing. Volumetrics. Nothing. Effects. Nothing. Okay, let's put shadows on medium and keep it like that. So this is ultra settings, medium shadows. I'm going to test it in more detail later. But right now it seems that shadows makes the biggest difference without touching much at all. So medium shadows, the rest maxed out at 1440p. Let's rebalance the power. But yeah, when I was fighting, sometimes it dropped into the 40s, especially when getting close to the bigger stuff over here. When looking at this, for some reason I dropped into the 40s. Easily fixable, put medium shadows and you're good to go, basically. And let's go back to our leader over there. Which for some reason I cannot join. But yeah. ¿Qué onda? ¿Todo bien? You should stream games in Twitch when you play. Well, the problem is that I cannot reach as many people on Twitch as on YouTube. And I cannot... And if you were watching me on Twitch, you wouldn't be able to change the resolution of the live stream. Which I think is absolute BS. People should be able to change the resolution of the live stream. But until you're a Twitch partner, you cannot give that option to your viewers. So on YouTube you can do from 144p to 4K if you want it. So that's why I don't do Twitch, because people cannot change resolutions when watching my live stream. So yeah, I prefer to stick to YouTube for that reason alone. But yeah. Okay, next one. There you are. Hello, sir. Bye-bye. Some of them are still available for play online. What do you mean? this is not a part of the game. This is on EA Play. Just pay the subscription, you have 10 hours of gameplay, basically.
That's all the ties down.
Yes.
Alright,
Come on, people. That quasar's gotta go.
let's give it some missiles. But yeah, even at 1440p you can do over 60 very easily, as you can see. Just by lowering shadows to medium, apparently.
For now.
Alright, let's go back to that one.
We're on it.
Admiral, I know how this Imperial operates.
Yeah, but that's hard to do. What do you mean?
Tell them prepping their capital ships.
La tercera persona a mí no me engaña, sabes español. Y por supuesto que sí. Por supuesto que te engaño. Can make video on AMD 3400G? Not at the moment because I do not have any of the APUs from AMD anymore. I'm focusing on graphics cards, on the dedicated graphics cards. There's another channel that focuses on the 3400G and 2400G. I'll leave you a link in the in a comment, so ask me on a comment and I'll give you a link to that channel. But yeah, there are a few channels that focus on that. I focus on dedicated graphics cards, mostly. So yeah, at the moment, no chance to do APUs. Let's do better lasers. Okay, now we're getting more of a hit on the GPU. Fantastic. So apparently when I get close to the shields and I shoot at the same time, I get drops on the GPU side. As you can see here. I drop into the 70s, but again, that's the 70s, not the 60s, so we're still way over 60 FPS. So not difficult to maintain. Let's destroy the shields of this one. And now some missiles. There you go. Yeah, still, we drop into the 60s, no big deal. So yeah, the game runs pretty well. On 1080p you can max it out, at 1440p you can lower shadows to medium and get basically over 60 all the time. I'm probably going to try 4K now. What do you guys think? Should I do 4K? 4K should be easy enough, I guess. Maybe on low to medium settings we can get 60s. But yeah. Yeah, let's try it now that we have some battles going on here. Let's take advantage of the situation and do 4K. Just for the sake of it. I mean, we can play it just fine, but let's do 4K, why not? Este es el mejor canal de Open English, sabelo que sí. Alright guys, so now we are doing 4K. Let's see the frame rate. Hopefully something playable. Okay, 44. Let's see if we can get 60s in any way whatsoever. So we're going to change the graphics quality directly. On ultra we get 39, on high we get 40, on medium we get 46, on low 54. Okay, let's start with low settings. And then we're going to do some extra tweaks. So we do 4K. But I mean, this is 4K on an RX 570. It doesn't get much better than this, I guess. So we're going to do low settings very quickly and then do ultra and then we'll see what we do. But yeah, at the moment, running very well. So yeah, you play on 1366 by 768. Yeah, you can do ultra settings just fine. Oh yeah, on 4K low settings, even shooting very close. Yeah, we're over 40 FPS, so 60s all the time, probably not possible at 4K. On the 570, on the 580 you can probably do it. But yeah, I mean, it's way over 30 frames. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, at 4K maybe you want to do a mix between medium and ultra to be over 30 frames if you care about resolution. But I mean, you can do 1440p 60, so I think that's good enough. But it's fun to test 4K on a budget graphics card. Yeah, basically. When you get very close to a ship and just start shooting at it, you get those drops into the 40s. But I mean, you're not doing that very often. you're usually trying not to hit a ship head on. So yeah, let's go for ultra settings now. I mean, low looks worse, so let's do ultra just for the sake of it. I mean, it's probably playable. So we do ultra because we cannot get 60s all the time. And on ultra settings we're getting over 30 at the moment. Let's see if we can drop below that. Okay, doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah, seems to be over 30 even when close to explosions. Let's put all the power on the speed. Now let's put it on the shields so I can stay alive. Yeah, still over 30, so I mean, you have no excuse not to play this game if you're interested, as far as I can see at the moment. You can do 4K Ultra, 1080p Ultra, 1440p Ultra, you can do whatever you want on this card. So yeah, pretty surprised. Considering it's using the Frostbite engine, it runs pretty good. I have a Pentium G4400. Yeah, I'm not sure if this game works on 2 cores and 4 threads, or on 2 cores and 2 threads. Will be interesting to see, but so far on the GPU side it doesn't seem to be that demanding at all. Even when I get very close to the enemy ships and shoot at them, basically. Although it uses way more system RAM, where there are big ships on screen, as you can see. Now it's using 9.8 gigabytes of system RAM. Before it was using like 7 to 8 gigabytes, so maybe with the bigger ship. But yeah, still over 30 just fine. You can probably even lower the shadows to medium and get over 40. But yeah, I'm getting destroyed now. But yeah, let's now do another graphics card. Yeah, because my ship was destroyed, let's swap graphics cards. Let me see the checkpoint, which one it is. Maybe I can use it as a reference. Okay, perfect. This is a perfect checkpoint because I can start from here super easily on the next graphics card. So let's swap to 1080 very fast for the next GPU. But yeah, so far the 570 can do 1080p Ultra over 60 all the time. Then it can do 1440p Ultra with medium shadows over 60 all the time. And you can do 4K Ultra at over 30 frames per second all the time. So yeah, I mean, the game is running fantastically well at the moment, even with bigger ships on screen. So yeah, let's now swap graphics cards. So I'm going to turn off the PC entirely. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to be swapping GPUs. Right now the 570 is in the PC. This is the 1050 Ti. I'm going to put this one in first. Then I'm going to swap for the 750 Ti, which is the most low-end card that you have in this one, the dual fan one. And then I'm going to put the 1650 Super, which will be like a 1060 or 580. Should be faster than the 570. So 1 second, guys, going to remove the 570. Sorry about the mess in the background. So here's the 570, the dual fan Aorus version. I'm going to put the 1050 Ti in. So there it goes. Alright. It's in, that's what he said, and she as well. Now the PC is starting, so 1 second, guys. ¿Usas doble PC? Sí, estoy usando una para el stream y una para correr el juego. Así no perdemos rendimiento. I'm using 2 PCs, guys. One to do the live stream, so one takes care of the live stream and the other one just runs the games. I do that to avoid a performance hit, because if I do the live stream in the same PC, there will be a huge performance hit, especially on the GPU and CPU side. So I mean, this is to have an accurate version of what the game should play like on your PC as well. So we're back into the PC now. The drivers are already installed. So I'll show you right now. The 1050 Ti is in with the latest drivers. So here it goes. So let's not launch the game. Star Wars Squadrons. I'm going to hide this so you don't see my credentials. But yeah, I got the game on Steam using EA Play. But yeah. Saludos de Costa Rica. Bueno, Justin, saludos desde Uruguay. Un gusto. Alright. So I'm launching the game. It uses easy anti-cheat. No big deal. We have the stealth mode on MSI Afterburner, so we can see the performance anyways. And I'm now using the 1050 Ti at 1080p Ultra. That's going to be the first one. I probably need to lower the shadows in order to get 60 FPS on this one. That's my assumption. But yeah. 144 Hz bug. What do you mean? Después de cambiar la gráfica, ¿cómo haces para tener los drivers de AMD y NVIDIA al mismo tiempo? Instalás los drivers de NVIDIA cuando tenés una gráfica NVIDIA, los de AMD cuando tenés gráfica AMD y después hace todo solo. Es así de simple, solo que obviamente los borro cada tanto. Anyways, so I'm back into the game now and I have the main menu, which is story, multiplayer and a quick match. I'm going to keep the single player at the moment and try the different parts like I did before. So let's go back to the story and continue in the same part, which was a big ship, many explosions going on basically. We're going to try that. And as you can see in the options, I'm using 1080p and the ultra preset. I'm going to crank it up to the max. So everything maxed out, as you can see here. Everything on ultra. Nothing strange going on there. And maximum resolution scale, and this is 1080p. So alright, I'm on the 1050 Ti now, maximum settings 1080p. And let's get very close to this huge ship and explode a couple things. Alright, drops into the mid 60s when explosions happen. No big deal, still over 60, so that's a win in my book. Let's try it again. More destruction, more everything. Okay, 60, 60. Seems to be okay. With ultra settings, maybe if we want a couple extra frames, lower shadows to medium. That should be enough. But I mean, yeah, even with this big ship, lasers, explosions, seems to be okay at the moment. Yeah, even with some effects on screen, it appears to be okay. And then when you fight the usual ships and not much is going on, we're into the 80s. Yeah, to be expected. 1080p, just fine. ¿Qué especificaciones uso en mi PC? Un Ryzen 5 3600 y una 1650 Super o 580, depende de qué esté haciendo. But yeah guys, I mean 1080p seems to be completely fine, even on max settings. At worst, it seems to be dropping into the upper 50s when there are effects on screen, as you can see. I'm about to explode, which was what I was looking for. So yeah, even with that big explosion, we're fine. So I don't think you need to lower the settings at all. Maybe if you want to make sure you do not drop into the 50s anytime soon, just go into video settings, put custom, and lower the shadows from ultra to medium. And that should give you a good boost in performance. So instead of being in the 70s, I'm into the 80s. And then when I get very close to the ship, and there are explosions, instead of the 60s, I'm into the 70s, as you can see. So yeah, I mean, going below 1080p basically means over 60 all the time. So no big deal. Seems to be running just fine. So yeah, let's try now 1440p just for the sake of it. Let's go for 1440. Seems to be running just fine on 1080. So yeah, we're doing 1440p now. Because 900p, I mean, it will be at 60 all the time. So we're doing 1440p ultra settings, medium shadows. Alright, now that that's clear, let's get back into the game and let's change the size of the frame rate numbers, because if not you cannot see them. There you go. Y así se quemó la casa de Santiago. Sí, básicamente. Sí, ultra con una 1050 Ti corre lo más bien. No pide mucho. Alright guys, so I'm using 1440p now, medium shadows, the rest maxed out on a 1050 Ti. And I'm going to restart the checkpoint. Okay. So without doing much, well, some lasers on screen, we're getting 60s. When I get very close to the big ship, I drop into the 50s. And with explosions and stuff, yeah, low 50s, no big deal. I mean, if I didn't have a frame rate counter, I'm probably not going to notice those drops into the 50s, let's be honest here. So, yeah, seems to be okay. Yeah, I mean, not much to add, apparently. Even when I crash right into the ship, nothing bad seems to be happening to the frame rate. Okay, into the 40s now. Now I got stuck. I always break games when I try to do live streaming, which is kind of funny. Yeah, seems to be completely okay. Probably if you go to low settings, you can do more fun stuff. But yeah, seems to be completely okay. Sí, bajo versus ultra no está tan mal. Yeah. I mean, I think this is... sí, no se ve tan bien. Pero esto es sombras en medio. Remember guys, this is shadows on medium. If I go from medium shadows to ultra, let's see there, I go into the mid 40s. So, I mean, if you don't care about the performance, just put it on ultra, it will be okay. You're not going to notice much of a huge hit. But yeah, as you can see, drop into the 30s with effects on screen, big ship close to the camera. As you can see, into the 30s, completely playable. You probably want to play into the... what's the name of this? Ugh, my brain. You probably want to play on 1080p Ultra and be done with it. But yeah, 8K. Ahí va, ahora 8K. Vamos a hacer 8K. I'm probably going to try 8K later, yeah. I don't have that... oh, maybe with what's the name of this? With the... oh man. The super sampling option. I maybe can do 8K. Let's try that. You guys. First, 4K. Let's do 4K first. Let's be reasonable at first. So we're going to do 4K Ultra, and then we're going to do 8K with DSR. This is going to be hilarious. I love you guys. So this is 4K Ultra settings with medium shadows. I can already see it below 30. So we're going to call this medium shadows ultra settings at 4K. So first we do 4K, then we try 8K, and we're doing super sampling. Yeah, and the 570 is probably going to work. Give me 1 second guys, I forgot the frame rate counter. But yeah, let's do now 4K ultra settings, medium shadows. Okay, 30 frames per second. Probably when I'm getting close to the ship, I'm going to drop into the 20s. But I mean, yeah, into the 20s. But this is 4K. I mean, 4K on a 1050 Ti. Pretty ridiculous if you ask me. Yeah, mid 20s. On the 570 I can probably do 8K at 20 frames per second. On this one you probably cannot, but I'm going to try it anyways, just to satisfy you guys' weird tastes. But yeah, first I want to get at least 30 at 4K, so I'm going to try medium settings or low settings. Low settings is going to be more interesting, I think. So let's do low settings first of all. So low settings at 4K. Let's see if we can at least get 30 frames consistently. So this is 4K low settings. Oh man, it looks so flat, but it's still 4K, so I'm satisfied. So yeah, okay, 4K, we're getting 30 frames. Let's just boost it to 200%. So this should be basically 8K. So yeah, we're now on 8K, I think. 8K low settings on a 1050 Ti. Let me crank it up to 200%. There we go. So we're at 8K. So this is 4K with 200% resolution scale, which should be 8K at basically low settings, and we're getting 4 FPS. So yeah, I think this is due to the low video memory. I mean, we're at 4 gigabytes. Completely explosions. Yeah. That was hilarious. I mean, for some reason my ship just exploded. Oh man, but it looks so sharp, it's ridiculous how sharp it looks. It's going to explode. Oh my god, my eyes. My PC is going to explode now. It's completely playable. I mean, I play my PS1 games at this frame rate. Oh no, it's going to explode. Yeah, I mean, it's way past the VRAM usage we can use. It will be interesting on a graphics card with more video memory. Maybe later on the 580, but yeah. Let's go back to 100%. So this will be 4K. So yeah, on 4K low settings, yeah, you're getting basically 30 frames a second. So yeah, let's restart the checkpoint. But yeah, that was very funny. You can probably do 8K on a 3080, 3070. Oh yeah, I mean, 4K low settings on a 1050 Ti, it's over 30 frames per second, so I think that's pretty impressive, considering this is a new game. But yeah, low settings, it doesn't look that hot. It lacks many of the depth shadows. I mean, the shadows that add depth to the scene are completely missing, as you can see. This ship looks very flat. But I mean, the game doesn't look that bad. Whatever. Pero sí, la PC casi explota con 8K. The PC almost explodes with 8K. Well, that was very funny. Thanks for the idea. Alright, so I think it's pretty clear. If you really want the live stream, you can do 1080p maximum just fine. You can do 1440p ultra settings medium shadows at 40 to 60 frames. So, I mean, you can max it out just fine on a 1050 Ti. We are now back in my room. As you can see, I'm turning off the PC. We're now going to put the 750 Ti into the PC. So the most basic graphics card I have. We're going to try it out. It's probably going to be 1080p 30 frames on max settings, but let's find out. I'm going to remove the 1050 Ti. 1 second, guys. So here's the 1050 Ti that we just used. Legendary graphics card. We now put the 1050 Ti in the PC. Sorry, the 750 Ti. Alright. We're in. Perfect. How much GPU do you have? Well, I have the 570, the 750 Ti, the 1050 Ti, the 1650 Super, and the 580. Those are, and the 1650 non-super. So I have 6 GPUs. The 1650 non-super is taking care of the live stream right now. That's why I don't test it as often. But yeah. Sí, la más básica. La más básica tengo. Sí, es gama ultra en Venezuela, sí, básicamente. O sea, pero esta es la más básica que tengo. La de un ventilador. Alright guys, so we're back into the PC now. Using the 750 Ti now. Wish me luck. This is 750 Ti. And this will be on 1080p. We're not going to do 4K first. But yeah. Let's start with this one. So we open MSI Afterburner. And we have the 750 Ti. As you can see, here it is. And we're launching the game. I'll hide my credentials because I have to log in. 1 second, guys. Alright. We're almost in. Vale la pena el modo campaña. Hasta ahora solo jugué 40 minutos, así que no sabría decirte. Pero es bastante lento como arranca. Después se pone un poco entretenido. What do you think? Pairing a 4770 with a 1660 Ti should be fine. At the moment, 4 cores, 8 threads should be okay. Make sure that the RAM is on dual channel though, super important for CPU performance. Oh, I have to, it's at 4K. I have to change to 1080. Soy de Uruguay. Es buena, Benja, es buena, por favor. Es muy buena, es la mejor gráfica. O sea, pagaste re poca plata en 2014 y sigue funcionando. O sea, ¿qué más querés? Mejor que eso no puede estar. Where is the options menu? Oh, here. Let's do 1080p because this is at 4K. This is not a card made for 4K. Sorry, 750 Ti. This is for 1080p at best. You can maybe do 1440, but Now I'm going to move the frame rate numbers so you can see them. There you go, a giant FPS counter. Alright, that's better. So let's start with ultra settings, because why not? Let's just max it out like mad people we are. So we keep it on ultra settings because it runs so well on the 1050 Ti. It's going to run well on the 750 Ti, probably. I'm not being sarcastic. So let's continue at the same place as before. Where are you from? I'm from Uruguay. Bueno, gracias, Matías. Es que practiqué mucho. Alright guys, so this is maximum settings on a 750 Ti on 1080p without any overclock on the GPU. The CPU usage is super high for some reason. Maybe because it's loading the level for the first time. Give it some time. Anyways, in the meantime, let's see if we can maintain over 30 frames going very close to the ship. Apparently we can. This is super interesting. I mean, this game is new and we're playing it on a budget graphics card from 2014. I mean, this graphics card is 6 years old. It's pretty ridiculous that we can do this still. This is fantastic. I'm super surprised about these numbers. Considering the age of the card and the price that you can pay, and the price that you can pay for this card, it's running pretty well. Actually, and I didn't even overclock it yet, so yeah, right now I'm pretty impressed, considering the results on the other cards. Well, I'm not in the right place. Yeah, let's repair the hull. Sí, la 750 Ti es increíble. This graphics card is legendary. Okay, let's try that again. Oh man, my ship is, yeah, completely destroyed, completely wrecked. But yeah, I mean, in the worst case scenario, we're getting 30 frames So yeah, nothing to complain about here. Very great. Is the i7 2600 outdated? Yeah, it is, but you can still use it to play games. It should still be playable. Not the best option, but if the RAM is on dual channel, it should be okay. Still a usable CPU. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah, alright. Let's try lowering the shadows to medium. I don't think we can get 60s on 1080p, but we're going to give it a try. We're going to lower shadows. Okay, never mind, we got 50s, so let's try low settings right away. Okay, mid 50s, so let's put it on low at the moment. Then we do tweak settings, but let's try low first. So low preset 1080p. And we're getting, okay, when close to the ship, basically upper 50s, low 60s, yeah, upper 50s, low settings 1080p, not bad. But when we're not close to a big ship, it should be over 60 all the time. So yeah, pretty surprised with these results, to be honest. Not bad at all. Super interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is a 750 Ti running a new game. But Ryzen 5 has integrated graphics. Well, it depends. Some of them do have integrated graphics. And they are pretty good. I mean, if you overclock it, it should be close to the 750 Ti in some games. Not sure on this one. But I think that's pretty impressive, considering it's an iGPU. But yeah, in this case, running pretty well, considering the graphics card we're using. Again, it's a 750 Ti from 2014. So yeah, you can do 60 frames on low settings 1080p. So let's now try 900p, because why not? Let's get a few extra frames. But we're going to start with ultra settings, because why not? You can probably do medium shadows and do 60 frames on 900p, but we'll see. So this is 900p ultra. So here we go. Let's hide the FPS counter for a second. Alright. So this is ultra settings, 900p, and we're going to retry the checkpoint. Alright. So this is 900p ultra settings on the 750 Ti. When getting close to the ship, we get drops into the 40s. No big deal. This is a 750 Ti after all. Let's try to stop behind this ship without crashing. Perfect. Okay, into the 40s with a lot of stuff on screen. Sorry, upper 30s. But yeah. Alright. Whoa. Yeah, I'm almost destroyed. So yeah, let's try lowering the shadows now to medium, so we can get a performance uplift. Okay, that puts us into the 50s. So ultra settings, medium shadows, and we die. So I think these are the best settings for this graphics card so far. I mean, just put it on ultra settings, lower shadows to medium, and you should be good to go. 50 to 60. 50s in the worst case scenario, 60s in the best case scenario. So yeah, if you want to play this game, use these settings on the 750 Ti. Medium shadows, ultra settings, and you'll be good to go. What the heck? Those ships are bugged. Pretty funny. Look at this. That bug though. Come on. Keep fighting. I always run into bugs in games. I always break everything. Sí, las páginas de cuello de botella no son buenas. No son buenas referencias en lo absoluto. Es mejor ver videos por lejos. Somebody was asking about bottleneck web pages. Those are not usually accurate at all. You're better off looking at the benchmark videos. I'm not talking about my channel only. There are many benchmark videos out there that you can use to see if there is a bottleneck somewhere in your system. But I mean, do not use the bottleneck, what's the name of this? The bottleneck web pages. Those are usually inaccurate. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want to play this game, use these settings. Your beard appears to be increasing. Yeah, it always does. It's pretty annoying. But a lot of people like it, so I kept it for a little bit longer. Anyways, so 900p, completely okay. Let's try 720 now. 720 is probably going to be ultra settings. But yeah, let's give it a try before my ship explodes. So we're going to decrease the resolution, sorry, to 720p. So my dog is barking in the background, sorry about that. But yeah, this is now 720p, and we're going to put ultra settings, because why not? Let's do so. So this is 720p ultra. So we go down here and increase the shadow quality to ultra. So as you can see, 720, ultra. Okay, into the 50s in the worst case scenario. Probably lowering shadows to high or medium will get us into 60s all the time. But I mean, this is a 750 Ti. This is a card from 2014 that was $150. So yeah, definitely this game runs pretty well. Yeah, I mean, most of the time over 60, when there's something more intensive happening, we drop into the lower 50s, upper 40s. But I mean, yeah. What else do you want? Runs pretty well. GTX 980. Well, if you have a 980, you can max it out on 1080p just fine, and you get like 90 frames per second probably. Yeah. I mean, what else do you need? 750 Ti or 950? Well, the 950 is faster. The 950 should be something like 1050, 2 gigabytes. So on the 950, I'm probably expecting something like 1080p, medium shadows, ultra settings, over 60 all the time. So yeah, I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't even think about it. Just get the 950. If you're between the 750 Ti and the 950, get the 950. It's faster. But yeah, it runs just fine. So yeah, this is the Legend graphics card. Let's now swap to another graphics card, because this one we can already see that it runs totally fine. So yeah, let's close the game now. Alt F4, and we're going to turn off the PC now. Bye PC. And we're going to swap to the 1650 Super now, which should be similar to a 580 or 1060. And we're going to be doing 1080, and we're even going to try 8K, which will be pretty hilarious. So yeah, the PC is now turned off. We're going to swap to this. Hello guys. So let's remove the graphics card. So here's the 1050 Ti we just tested, which impressed me in this game. Super impressive with the performance. We're now going to put the 1650 Super. It has a 6-pin connector, as you can clearly see over there. So yeah, let's put it in, like he said. Alright. Nice. Alright, the graphics card is in, better said. So yeah. Yeah, it's a Zotac dual fan 1650 Super. That's what it is. So yeah. Tenés la 950 y la sigue pisteando. Sí, sabelo. Te resirven, por supuesto que sí. Yeah, it was the legendary 750 Ti. Re fachero decir los lentes. Bueno, el tema de los lentes me marea. Mis pies. They're my foot for your foot fetish. No sound. Hello? I think there is sound. Yeah, there is. Check your check your PC. There's sound. I can hear myself pretty well, actually. Okay, so now the PC is back on. So we're going back into the desktop. We have a 1650 Super, as you can see. So let's now launch the game once more. In the meantime, gracias Kenny, me alegro, me alegro. Y gracias Matías también. Me alegro que les sirvan los videos. Alright, perfect. We are now launching the game. Star Wars Squadrons. Sí, mis pies, sí. The game is launching. ¿Hasta cuándo crees que esté vigente la 750 Ti? Y probablemente 1 o 2 años más a reventar. Se te rompió, qué lástima. Tremenda gráfica. Alright guys, we're back into the game. I'm going to put 1080p because this is clearly 720. The intro. Hello everyone. I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Star Wars Squadrons on many graphics cards. Alright, let's go into the video options and directly into 1080p territory, because why not? Let's just do that. Velocidad de RAM 2666 sería mi mínimo. And Ryzen. Alright, so this is 1080p ultra settings, as you can see here. So let's go straight into the game. So let's try it out. I'm going to zoom in into the frame rate. Alright, so as you can see the CPU is maxed out because, you know, it's loading. But I mean, yeah, no doubts. Ultra settings is way over 60, just like the 570. I mean, if this ran well on a 750 Ti, it was going to run well on a 1650 Super. But yeah, the CPU is maxed out because it's loading the level for the first time. So expect some stutters if you have a slower CPU. It's going to max it out at the very start. But yeah, I mean 100 frames per second on maximum settings. There's nothing to touch here. Just do 1080p and you'll be okay. But yeah. What's the normal temperature for a 1650 Super? I will try to stay, I don't know, mid 70s maybe. This one sometimes jumps into the upper 70s, low 80s on the temperature. But this is a very tiny card with 2 tiny fans, so it makes sense. So I'd say mid 70s, maybe 75 degrees. That would be an acceptable temperature in my book. But I mean, the card will work anyway. It will just lower the clock speed until it doesn't reach that temperature. Bullet Vial, sacaron una alfa. Bueno, lo voy a buscar. No tengo mucho tiempo, ese es el problema. Últimamente hay poco tiempo. Pero vemos. But yeah, I mean, guys, on 1080p, it's okay. You don't need to do anything at all. It runs just fine, as you can see. It dropped into the 90s in the worst case scenario. So, trabajo en ese juego y está súper divertido. Ah, bueno. Lo busco. Se agradece la información. Si está entretenido, lo pruebo. So, yeah, guys. 1080p. Nothing to say. It runs just fine on the maximum settings. You don't need to touch anything at all. Just max it out. Let's do 1440p now, because that's a higher resolution. if it runs similar to the 570, well, it broke my capture card. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, it's back. So yeah, I broke my capture card for a second. That's hilarious. Okay, we're back. Awesome. And the status now is 1440p Ultra, because who doesn't like Ultra settings? I don't. I'm a peasant. So yeah, this is Ultra settings 1440p now. And we're getting, okay, 80s. Let's see closer to the ship. If we drop below 60. If we don't, it's going to be faster on the 570. The 570 needed medium shadows to maintain 60s in this part. Alright, yeah, even 1440p can do 60 frames on this one, at least in this section. So no big deal. Even at 1440p, it seems to be easily possible to max it out. I don't know what I just said, but I tried to say something. So yeah, super easy to run. ¿Es verdad que la 570 ASRock falla mucho y es más humo? ¿O es más humo? La verdad, ni idea, nunca la probé. No tengo ni idea, nunca probé una gráfica ASRock. Así que no sabría decirte. Anyways, yeah, I mean, nothing more to add on the 1650 Super. It's okay. Over 60 all the time on max settings, even at 1440p, so nothing to do here. Let's try 4K now. Now that we are, whoa, now that we're exploding. Yeah, at 60 all the time. Let's try 4K now. Like the master race that we are, we do 4K here. So yeah, 60 Hertz, 4K. Excellent. I'm going to zoom in into the into the frame rate because you cannot see a thing without the zooming in. There we go. So this is 4K Ultra settings. Let's see how it does. Then I'm going to try 8K like on the 1050 Ti. It will be hilarious. So yeah, let's give it another try at 4K. This is 4K Ultra settings and we're getting 50s far away from the ship. And close to the ship is going to probably be into the 30s, but we'll see. GT210 en 8K, sabelo. GT210 on 8K, yeah, let's try that out. We're going to destroy the PC, let's burn it. Okay, so at 4K, as you can see on Ultra settings, we do not get 60s in the ship. In that big ship. But this is Ultra settings on a 1650 Super, a super cheap graphics card. So I mean, what else do you need? So yeah, perfect. Everything seems to be working correctly at 4K. So let's try now low settings to see if we can even get 60 frames. We probably can, but let's give it a try super quickly because I want to be done with this. So this is low settings, and then we do 8K, like the mad people that we are. Okay, at 4K we get into the mid-50s, not bad. Let's retry the checkpoint. On the worst cases, at 4K seems to be 50s, so no big deal. If you want frame rates at 4K, this is how you do it. I mean, in my opinion, it's not worth going to low settings. Buenas, Santino, ¿cómo va? ¿Todo bien? So as I was saying, at 4K I don't think it's worth it to lower the settings to low, considering the visual hit. It looks significantly more flat. There are way less shadows. But yeah, you at least get over 50 frames in the worst cases, so if you're into that, you can do it. A big hug from Brazil. Well, thank you, Brazilian brother. I'm here in Uruguay, so we're very close. Thank you so much. ¿Todo bien? Bueno, me alegro. La ASRock 570 viene mal configurada. Si haces Undervolt, anda bien. Bueno, me alegro que se pueda arreglar, pero qué cagada que venga toda rota. Alright, so guys, it's time to do 8K. So we're going to put the resolution scale to 200% at 4K, which is 8K. So let's go. Boom. 8K. 8K. Let's burn this PC to the ground. Alright. Just like the 1050 Ti, we're getting 5 frames per second. So yeah, I mean, completely playable experience, as you can see, very cinematic. The frame time is at 200 milliseconds. So as you can see, completely playable. I see nothing wrong with this. As you can see at 8K, the bottleneck is the video memory. We have the 4 GB completely utilized. That's why we're getting the same frame rate as the 1050 Ti at 8K. It's because we don't have enough video memory for this, which is pretty hilarious, if you ask me. Vale. Sí, ya es el doble de rendimiento. Bueno, la de 50 Ti lo probé en 8K también, vos. No te pongas malo con la de 50 Ti. But yeah, I mean, this is the best way to play this game. Just put it on 8K, put it on low settings, and enjoy the PowerPoint presentation. But yeah, 8K. Whoa. You want 1440p with 200% resolution scale? Okay, let's try that out. Now that I'm here. So this is 1440p with 200% resolution scale. So I'm not sure what resolution that is, but 1440p was 200% resolution, which let me see what this is. I'm going to try to find it on the internet on a calculator. So 1440 2 times 1440 is 2880p, which is nothing interesting. I don't know what that is, but hey, it's in the 40s, so at this point I would just do 4K. It runs just fine. Whoa, wrong button. But yeah, as you can see here, we're getting 50s on low settings with 200% resolution at 1440p. So if you have a 1440p display, you get very clean edges, but I don't think it's worth doing. Just do 1440p, maximum settings, you get over 60 all the time, best visuals. And I mean, the TAA solution looks good enough already, so you don't need that, in my opinion. Oh, this is 5K. Okay, gotcha. Have a codec that is very good for streaming. Yeah, that's what I'm using to do the live stream, but on a separate PC. Anyways, let's just do 1440p without the resolution scale to 200%. Let's be real here. Let's do a real case scenario, which would be basically 1440p on the highest settings. A real case, a more realistic setting. So we push the GPU as much as possible, and I play a little bit more and finish the live stream. That's basically my objective at the moment. And I'm going to show you the frame rate. Sorry about the delay. But yeah, there's the frame rate. We're on 1440p Ultra, and we are fine. Let's just continue with the campaign a little bit. Hey Santi, ¿qué te parece el juego? Hasta ahora bastante entretenido. No soy fan de los juegos de volar en primera persona con combate, pero este es bastante fácil de controlar al momento. Y corre muy bien. ¿Cuántas de RAM tienes tu 1650 Super? 4 GB, que es la única opción que tenés. This 1650 Super has 4 GB of memory, which is the only option you have on a 1650 Super. So, okay, I died. Perfect. So, yeah. Hola Nata, ¿qué dice? ¿Todo bien? Alright, it's time to continue playing.
Strike here. We can take down the vigilance target.
Okay, let's get the targeting system. Let's see if I can destroy it in any way. Almost there. But yeah, I mean the frame rate is just fine and we're at 1440p max. So what else do you want? On 1080p you can max it out easily. So yeah. Not much to do on the testing department, if you tell me. Okay, what's super easy, I had to destroy one of the security measures of the ship, which is pretty hilarious. 10 maneras de 1000 maneras de matar tu GPU, sí, básicamente. Usando 8K. Alright, almost there. Come on. Sí, va muy bien, va muy bien. Hasta en una 750 Ti podés jugar en 1080p Ultra, así que... Alright, come on. Where to? Alright. We finished the level. That was easy. El multijugador debe ser re difícil, sí, porque... Bueno, debe haber gente que sabe. ¿Recomiendas pasarme un i5 de novena a un i5 de décima? Bueno, un i5 de décima tendrías que cambiar la placa madre, así que vería el precio del i5 y el precio de un Ryzen de mismas características y vería qué hago. Okay, so I played the prologue. The prologue, I'm using the trial version of the game that comes with EA Play, as you can see. So if I want to play training mode or multiplayer, I can do so, but if I want to continue the story, I need to pay for the full game. So let's try the a fleet battle. Let's try that on I don't know what map. Let's do a random map on normal difficulty. I don't know how to play, but I'm going to skip the tutorials, so we'll see the performance. Maybe it's worse than the campaign, who knows. Pensé que era más amplio el juego, no solo un shooter de naves. Es que tiene más cosas, creo, pero no estoy seguro cómo funciona. O sea, jugué muy poco, digamos. Ok. ¿Qué recomiendas más? ¿Un i5 de décima o un Ryzen 3600? Y por el precio un Ryzen, sin dudas. O sea, en mi caso más barato un Ryzen. Pero para juegos el i5 va a ser más rápido, en general, si tenés la RAM correcta. Alright, so let's try this. This is AI battle. Let's see if this runs worse than the main game. It seems to be worse already. Let's see if we can drop below 60 using these settings. But yeah, this looks pretty good, at least in my opinion. But it doesn't look as good as to say, hey, the game runs bad. I mean, considering how it looks, I think that the game runs pretty good. Yeah, it drops into the 60s, so this runs worse than what I was testing just now. Well, not bad, in a way, not that bad. But it does run a little bit worse than the big ship I tested just now. So it's interesting. Whoa, it killed me very fast, so this is what they were talking about. That the multiplayer is difficult. Well, there you go. This is not even the multiplayer, this is against the AI. So that's super interesting. But yeah, it seems to be running a little bit worse than the campaign. Interesting. Left trigger, player target. Oh, there I am. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't run that bad. It doesn't look that bad, but it runs very good. So, well done. Well done, people that made this game. It runs pretty good. I mean, this is 1440p on a 1650 Super on the maximum settings. Die! Yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, to sum up, the game runs fine. You don't need much more than that. Sí, algunas inconsistencias hay, pero digo, son muy pocas. Pero sí, esto parece más que nada un juego que, bueno, vamos a dispararnos con naves. Que eso es lo que alguien preguntaba. Parece que es solo eso, sí. Pero no sé mucho, estoy jugando hace 1 hora y poco. Pero sí, hasta ahora parece ser más que nada eso. So yeah. Anyways, I don't have much to say. I think that the video speaks by itself. So thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. It's going to be posted with timestamps so you can see whatever you want about the performance of this game. But yeah, it runs totally fine on all the graphics cards. You can do 1080p Ultra even on a 750 Ti. So, I mean, what else do you need? And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Muchas gracias por mirar. En una 1060 correría igual que acá, básicamente. On a 1060 it should run the same as you see here because it's basically running similar as a 1650 Super. So I expect similar numbers to what you see right now if you have a 1060 or a 580. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this live stream and I see you next time. Y Juan Pablo, la primera build es Ryzen 5 3600, 570, 16 GB de RAM. Sí, te sirve para todos los juegos. Mirá los videos de la 570, va a correr como eso. Nos vemos, chao chao. See ya, bye bye guys, bye bye.